Hey everybody, welcome to BrickVault. Today is another LEGO Top 10 Mocks of the Week episode where I show you guys the coolest custom creations I happen to see people building in LEGO throughout this last week. Like always, there's way more than just 10 creations I'm showing you guys in this episode. Links to all the builders and more are in the description below. And before we jump into the honorable mentions of the week, the custom build that went up in our web store is the TIE Phantom by Bartolome. It's an absolutely excellent minifigure scale model. It fits in really well with the rest of the TIE models already up in the web store, and it's definitely one of the more interesting TIE designs, I think, within the Star Wars universe. It's all linked in the description below, www.brickvault.toys, if you want to see the video or get the instructions. And now onto the honorable mentions of the week. Here's another angle of this absolutely massive ship from Z Cerberus. Excellent details. And then from the builder Boba 1980, this looks like it could almost be an interior shot of the same large model. The title here is XBS-10 Light Freighter. And then from BrickLias, we have Intergalactic Hide and Seek. I love the police version of that spinner. Part of the Survivors RPG. This is Tournament 1, taking down Dareth. Those lava effects at the bottom are my particular favorite here. Then more upscaled minifigure accessories, this time a fish, chicken, and key from Chung Po Chang. Adam Dodge has a ton of these micro speeders or little micro racing ships. They're amazing. This one's my personal favorite of his recent builds. Chuck has more renders of his USS Enterprise, this time with actual ships on the top of the deck there. And from Shizik27, we have this amazing sports car, and check out that detailing with the hockey stick at the bottom of the door. The name of this giant mammoth is Jorn. The builder is Arrow O'Conan. Love the details. Daniel Jackson built this interesting character called John's Vision. Really interesting builds from this designer. Joffrey Bricks titled this Hold On Harry, and I love the detailing for Harry's eyes. He just got those 4 quarter-round tile pieces to make the X's for his eyes. The title here is Close Encounters on Mars by Robert Lundmark. Certainly one of the more interesting and eerie pictures, I think, from the week, unless you want to go something a little bit more classically Halloween-y from Thomas Michael. This is titled Rest in Pieces. From Frantisek, he has built a Chinese Ducati Scrambler. I'm a big fan of the Scrambler. This is an excellent Technic motorcycle here, and thematically this might be my favorite build of the week from Soccer Kid 6. It is the UARS Aqua 2, and you can see that the turtle is controlling a robot that is freeing a dolphin. Definitely a great way to flip the script here. And then Lestranger Absurd has some really funny ones. I think the title here is Valaware. Just the funny looking face is excellent. I love the pieces used for those yellow teeth. And the name Absurd is really captured quite well for his second build. This is titled Cow Tossing. Look at the expression. How is he holding the cow? Nobody knows, but we've got some excellent details for the water and a few builds also from Jonas Kramm, who just cannot stop putting things together. This is titled The Garage. The Track Switch V9 is extremely prevalent here, and also prevalent in the micro scale Fairground series. Love the colors. And Jonas also did the final track, and you'll also see that track switch piece being used for some of the dials as well as the speakers. ForlornEmpire has been playing this same game with the same track piece. This is a large spider that seems to have found a victim. The title for this build, by the way, is Spider Infestation. And then ForlornEmpire also built the Chicken Pen Ball. There is a video that goes along with this that I recommend you watch, but this is a functioning pinball machine. Same builder, can't pronounce the title here, maybe someone else can. It looks like it's French, don't know, that's probably perfume. There's sunflowers. And then from Jonathan Elliott, this is the 2CV. Like that the back of the car here is just lifted a little bit. And now we're jumping into the top 10 mocks of the week. The first one up here in no particular order comes from Moko. This is called G8. The fingers are made up of the Star Wars gang member minifigure heads. It's absolutely amazing. Oh yeah, on the toes too, just noticed that as well. There's a lot of interesting sleek bionicle or Technic pieces used for the red external detailing. I like that the forearms are nice and wide, and those are made of the Praetorian Guard brick-built figure bodies. And there's just so many excellent details hidden away for this robot in red. Now changing Changing things up completely, let's move on to another robot in red, this time being made what looks like almost exclusively out of regular system bricks from Marco de Bon. This is the LEGO FA15 Lionheart. There's a really interesting and consistent build style throughout the entire body here. There's a lot of little layered areas. You can see it on the sides of the feet, the armor detailing around the hips, some of the extra shoulder armor as well. And this robot really harkens back to some classic sort of Gundam style models. The golden highlights pop particularly well against the red. And now let's change things up a bit, get away from the robots. From Jessica Farrell, this is Magic Fairy Garden. We've got some wonderful color combinations and an extremely busy looking little pond. There's so many tiny pieces all crammed together, but with purpose. And also real quick, here are just a few other more recent landscapes from the same builder. Really interesting style with very specific color palettes in mind. Number 7 moving down is a digital build, but I just could not look away from this really interesting hover tank design. Some of you might think that this was mainly inspired by the AAT from Star Wars, but then when reading through the description, the designer Apex cites the Wraith from Halo as a main source of inspiration, and then it all kind of clicked. The title here is Type 26 Maschith MBT, and my personal favorite bit of building details come with the larger ski pieces that make up that rounded bit of the head of the turret. There's also some really interesting areas with slopes connecting against each other and interesting places for wedge plates, and ultimately we just have an extremely unique, sleek yet rugged design for a futuristic hover tank. Coming in at number 6, this is Broadrick's Outpost from ForlornEmpire. The use of the 9-volt switch track piece is pretty prevalent. It makes up some fruit, the base of that stand that's carrying Jafar, and my personal favorite, it's also a hookah, which is a pretty fun little touch. You can even see them integrated in some of the flags, which is really, I mean, when you look at those flags, we've got hinge pieces and wrenches, and I think even a flipper. Just really interesting piece choices used in this model through and through. This is a really fun minimalistic kind of design from Eclipse Collar, who builds mostly in Bionicle pieces. There is no title technically, but in the description it just says some skelly bros who defend undead turf. The bodies are relatively simple, but they have some nice interesting areas of creative flair. The ribcage pops quite well for one of those guys. He also has a little loincloth, and the wheel piece that's offset just beneath the neck and on one side of the shoulder looks really interesting. It's just a fun piece. There's a lot of energy for these characters, despite the fact that they're not clad head to toe with tons and tons and tons of armor detailing in every little corner. And then I found these photos from Lachlan Cameron. This is the Lamborghini Veneno. I don't know if this design is brand new. I think people have had versions of this custom build for a while, but these photos look amazing. I haven't talked about this particular Technic model yet, and it's an absolutely stunning build. My favorite bits of detailing are definitely the hood in the front. I like the builds for the lights along the sides there. The wheel wells are made with an excellent technique, and though large Technic cars aren't really our thing that we focus on here in the studio, there is no denying the absolute amazing build qualities of these Technic designers. Number 3, moving down the list, is from Verteinert. This is the 10264 corner garage alternate build. I've been seeing more and more people doing alternates based on real Lego sets, where you just take all the parts from one particular set, you just completely redo it and make it your own. And this designer, I think, is probably one of the better guys out there doing this. This is personally one of my favorite alternate models for any Lego set. We don't get to see any of the interior shots. It would be cool to see what this designer has managed to figure out on the inside, but from this exterior shot we have here, it really does feel like it's just as good as anything that would have come from a Lego set. From the Brick Artisan, this is titled LL856 Hammerhead. I can't tell if I really like this model because I've been watching DS9 recently, and this definitely looks like a Cardassian ship, or if it's just an amazing design on its own. The details hidden inside this classic space colored ship, just keep on going. From the top, you can see an integrated hose piece put between a couple of different arch bricks, which is excellent. A lot of interesting uses of hinges. The gray lever pieces have an interesting way of sinking into some lever bases there, which is kind of fun. And then from the underside, it's hard to even know where to start. That interesting shape that you see somewhat towards the middle is a series of old motorcycle body parts. And it really does look like from this angle that you're staring at the underside of an old crustacean, and these are all of its little tiny legs or something. The ship has an odd way of feeling extremely organic and employs a lot of new and interesting building techniques while still sticking to the old classic space color combo, which makes it feel somewhat more simplified, yet it really isn't. If you thought we were done with all of the red themed builds, you were wrong. Jonas crams the last one here. The title is Dragon String Puppet, and there is a video of him actually making this thing move around with the strings, but if you want to see that, just check out those links in the description below. I love the color combinations though. The teeth for the dragon is made up of those Native American minifigure headdresses, and somebody tell me where those eyes ended up coming from. I don't know where that print can be found. There's a lot of gold used to make up the body of the wings, and the colors here pop incredibly well. Anyways, guys, that is going to be it for the top 10 MOCs of the week. Like always, there's way more than 10. If you do have any extra time, I highly recommend you check out these designers' Flickr pages that I've linked in the description below. Check out our web store, www.brickvault.toys, if you feel like building any crazy, insanely awesome custom creations. Thanks so much for sticking around to the end of the video. If you enjoy our content, you can always like, subscribe, comment, share, or if you enjoy our content, you can always like, subscribe, comment, share the video, do whatever it is that you want to do. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time at BrickVault.